Well, good morning, everyone. My name is MightyStream, and I'm going to do your December the 25th, just for today, in a meditation. I'm excited to be with you today. Let's go ahead and get into that meditation. For many of you, this is the Christmas holiday, and I wish you a very Merry Christmas if you celebrate it. And for those of you that don't, I just wish you the best, beautiful day that you can possibly have. December 25th, anonymity and self-will. The drive for personal gain, which brought so much pain in the past, falls by the wayside if we adhere to the principle of anonymity. That comes from our basic text, page 76. The word anonymity itself means namelessness. But there's a larger principle at work in the anonymity of the NA program, the principle of selflessness. When we admit our powerlessness to manage our own lives, we take our first step away from self-will and our first step toward selflessness. The less we try to run our lives on self-will, the more we find the power and direction once so sorely lacking in our lives. But the principle of selflessness does a lot more than just make us feel better, It helps us live better. Our ideals of how the world should be run begin to lose their importance, and we stop trying to impose our will on everyone and everything around us. And when we abandon our know-it-all pretensions and start recognizing the value of other people's experience, we start treating them with respect. The interests of others become as important to us as our own. We start to think about what's best for the group rather than just what's best for us. We start living a life that's bigger than we are. That's more than just us, our name, ourself. We start living the principle of anonymity. Just for today, God, please free me from self-will. Help me understand the principle of anonymity. Help me to live selflessly. Let's take a moment of silence, followed by the we version of the Serenity Prayer. Moment of silence now, please. Thank you, God. Grant us the serenity to accept the things that we cannot change, the courage to change the things that we can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Just for today, please and thank you. What a wonderful meditation to wake up to anonymity and self-will. I think that I can relate to it. At first, I was so obsessed with the word anonymity because it seemed like whenever we would say it, we struggled to actually pronounce it right. And so I wanted to make sure, oh, please let me not be one of those people that messes up that word. So self-centered. That was my only concern with anonymity, was pronouncing pronouncing the word right, not really the spiritual principle that it's founded on. Yeah, it means namelessness. But in Narcotics Anonymous, it also means selflessness. It means that in and of myself, my feelings, my thoughts, my opinions, my behavior, my shoulda, coulda, wouldas, my experience, strength, and hopes aren't the end all and be all. It's the first time in a long time. I'm not going to say the first time ever because that would not be true, but it's the first time in a long time that the concept of sharing with others and the well-being for the group was brought to my attention, brought to my awareness. You know, we talk about this being a democracy, this country. And though I think in many ways it's far from that, right? When we talk about the principle of democracy, it's the first time in Narcotics Anonymous that I began to look at life through a lens of we, all of us. There's so much I could share with you about what changed in my life as a result of Narcotics Anonymous. And that's just one of them. I started to actually understand, girl, this is not all about you. This is about the people connected to you. This is about the people connected to them. This is about the people that haven't even found this meeting yet. I was amazed at the first meeting I went to that we actually put a chair in the middle of the circle as we would close and hold hands. We took an empty chair and put it in the middle of the circle. And we took a moment of silence for the still suffering addict that had not made it into the rooms yet. And that chair represented them. And I was equally amazed when a newcomer would come into the very next meeting and take 5 minutes at the end to let us know that they want a new way of life, that even though they were still high, they thought they better get in here to save their lives because their mother or their brother or someone they knew used to come to those meetings. And we would all look at each other like, oh, another prayer answered. We did that. We prayed that. And I learned that in Narcotics Anonymous. I learned that. Oh, yeah, in kindergarten and stuff, you learn how to share and play nice and play fair. But as you develop and grow older, you start becoming more and more aware of yourself, right? You become more aware of yourself and you become more aware of your needs, just like the triangle of self-obsession, that IP. I encourage you to get it and read it today. The difference between being a baby and maturing in recovery is that your every whim and need and want and concern and opinion and have tos aren't at the forefront of everything we do today. We start looking at the world with different lens. And we're okay with not having to operate in self-will. And we're okay with being selfless in the appropriate fashion. There's some people that are so selfless, people walk all over them. They don't need to practice selflessness anymore. They need to practice self-care, right? So everything is with balance. And today I want for you, as you go about your day and you're trying to make a decision about whatever it is that is in front of you, let it rest with this one question. If I do this or don't do this, how will it affect not just myself, but those around me, whoever those are? Because the moment you start getting outside of self-interest, right? Even if it came down to whether or not I'm going to take a hit and get high, it may offend the people that are trying to get me to get high. And I'm not interested in their interest in that situation. But ultimately, what is it going to take for me to get back clean again and recover again? And how is it going to impact the people that have come to depend upon me? That's the bigger picture. So you gotta take that question and walk it all the way through. Walk it all the way through. And I just believe today is going to be the best December 25th that you've had in a long time, if you do that. Now, you can tell by my voice that I'm not even just a bit under weather. I am under the weather, seriously. And so if you're a praying individual, If you're a praying individual, go ahead and spend some time praying for me today. I could absolutely use it. I want for you to have a beautiful day, and I'm going to have one as well on purpose. I want for that for you, okay? Take care and talk to you soon.